Hi guys. Hey, hi, what's going on? Today we are joined by Ringo. Everybody say hi, Ringo. He's my mic holder. Love that. He's holding the microphone. Everybody say good job, Ringo. Another thing that I want to say before I even tell you what this video is, I want to introduce you to Gaptooth Magoo. He is a very good friend. Got him at Costco. I love him very much. He's a fuggler. Very, very nice. So he's joined our little family. Anyways, hi, welcome in, welcome to the video. Today is, I just want to say, if you think I look disheveled, fuck you. If you think I look disheveled, I am a little bit. I'm having a lazy day. Today, we are gonna rot in bed all day. I didn't want to do my makeup. It's too hot. It's too hot to do all that. I don't know about all that. I just want to lay in bed and read some books. So let me tell you a story to introduce this video. Last night I was doom scrolling on my phone. I was scrolling, looking at a lot of good brain rot, some really good reposted tweets. There's some good stuff on the reels, okay? And then I see possibly the funniest thing I have seen in a long time describing a book. So it's like when she does this, but he does this, and it's like a scenario from the book, but it was a monster romance. And listen, I got nothing against monster romance. I actually love it unironically. But this was the most unhinged thing I had ever seen. I was like, this can't be a real book. This has to be satire. And then I go on the page and she's an author. Like this is an author who writes monster romance, and I was like, I have to read this. I just have to. I just have to read it because I need to know. I need to know what this is all about. Yeah, anyway, so if you're not a person that likes really, really smutty books that are just unhinged, completely unrealistic and insane, poorly written, just ridiculous, this video is not for you. You're gonna have to wait a few days for me to post something else. I'm sorry. Or go back on my channel and watch something else. I don't know. I love smutty books, like unironically love them. I'm an advocate for them. I'm an advocate for whatever you're reading, whatever you're watching, whatever you're listening to, you should take it seriously, even if it is completely unserious. So if you are listening to like Limp Bizkit, pick apart those lyrics, girl. Criticize it. Think about it critically. And that's how I read all of my books. So even when I'm reading like Ice Planet Barbarians, I'm reading it and I'm like, wow, like this has some interesting plot structures and these characters are very deep, and I really like this dynamic. You know what I mean? Like you've got to be critical and thoughtful and reflective on the media that you consume, even if it's the stupidest, most ridiculous, poorly written thing in the world. And that's what I like to do with monster romance and really smutty books. I'll read really, really unhinged dark romance books or monster romance or romantasy. And I'm thinking in my head, is this objectively good? No, it's terrible. But there's something about it that makes me want to read it. And so that's what I enjoy about it, is like there's something about it that still makes me want to read it in spite of the fact that it doesn't make sense. It's so over the top spicy. There's no plot. What's going on? I still want to read it. And what is that? And what is there that is appealing to me about this book? Sometimes I read because I want a literary masterpiece, but sometimes I just want to escape from the world by reading something that is so ridiculous that there's no ground in reality. It is so detached, it is so strange, it is so weird and ridiculous. And that's something you only find in unhinged smut books. That's my spiel. That sometimes I go on a bender and I read like 5 of these books because they're just so fun. And like I think that there's actual real value in super unhinged smutty monster romance. So today we're going to try to see if there's value in this one, okay? So I have a few downloaded. I don't know how many we're going to read, but the one that I saw the TikTok on that I'll put somewhere in the video is called is called Tentacle Entanglement by Siggy Shade. We're going to read the synopsis together. But I do have a few other ones that I want to read. But yeah, I just think that people that read smutty books should be taken seriously as readers, and that's kind of something that I want to demonstrate in this video, which I don't know how I'm going to get there by reading a book called Tentacle Entanglement, but I stay with me now, okay? Like these books do have value. But at the same time, I also really like to make fun of them. Let's see what it says. I actually read a few pages of it last night and I was like, no, this is too good. I have to make a video. So the synopsis, it's 190 pages. It was published in 2022. It's by Siggy Shade. I accidentally summoned a tentacle monster in the middle of the night. He Oh my god. This next sentence. He wants to show me why 8 arms are better than 2. I'm so sorry, Ringo. I'm so sorry that you're privy to this right now. I said yes, and now I have a tentacle monster in my bed who knows exactly how to make me scream. Wow. And like the reviews are like 5 stars, just smut. All this was smut. I loved it. It's it's so funny. So, we're going to read this. It has 2,892 reviews. This is what we're going to start with. It's 190 pages. Here we go. We're going to read Tentacle Entanglement. I have my snacks. I've got some crispers. Are these a Canadian thing? Do you guys have crispers elsewhere in the world? They're very good. I like the ranch ones. I think I'm gonna go get some cookies because I'm feeling snacky. Tentacle Entanglement, let's go. Ringo, are you ready? I'm just becoming self-aware of like what I've decided this video is, and I just like, wow. So I'm 20% into the book. Basically, this girl, don't even know her name. I just realized that we don't even know her name, I don't think. She watches this, oh my god, this is so stupid. Okay, she watches this video meditation that is like, manifest your dream man. So she like does the meditation, she falls asleep, and she wakes up, and there's a fucking man at the end of her bed. She's like, what the fuck? And he's a tentacle monster. I can't make this shit up, guys. So like the thing that's crazy about this book, which has happened to me in multiple other monster romances, is that like the tentacles, right? When the tentacles are being used for I struggle to like apply the abilities of the tentacles to like what they're actually for. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, he's a monster. He's like a creature. So like, what is the evolutionary purpose of the tentacles turning into little fingers? You know what I mean? Like he has like the little like suction thingies, and then they turn into like little like hair-like fingers. And he can turn like one whole tentacle arm into like a string. What is the actual purpose of that? You know what I mean? Because I know what it's being used for here. I can definitely, yep, okay. But what is the actual purpose of it? Is anyone else thinking about this, or am I? Oh, okay, I forgot about that. He licked her rose toy. But he didn't know what it was. He was like, where can I get me more of this? This is good. And it was like, it's very unhinged. There's no plot. And when I say there's no plot, sometimes I say there's no plot and there really is a plot. It's just stupid. There's no plot. He literally showed up at the end of her bed. They're fucking. Like, that is it. So, listen though, it's not poorly written. Like, it's not, like, I've read shittier prose. Definitely, for sure. So, I'm gonna finish it. I'm gonna keep reading it, but it's a lot. Okay? But it's hilarious. It's so funny. Okay, guys. Listen, the longer I read this book, the more I am questioning why I'm doing this. And the problem is that it's not bad. Like when I'm reading a bad book, it doesn't have to be smut, it doesn't have to be anything, it's bad. There's nothing that makes me want to read it, you know? It makes me mad. But I'm not mad, I'm kind of just indifferent. Like, I'm not loving it because there's nothing to it but the spice, and the spice is, we're getting to the part that I think the author was referencing in the first TikTok that I saw. So I'm on page 81, I'm halfway through. I don't think I'm gonna update again, I'm just gonna go. It is crazy though. But you know, I can't be too annoyed or mad at like how much spice is in this and how over the top it is, because this is a book that I willingly chose to read called Tentacle Entanglement. I can't stop laughing. I'm also pregnant with his triplets. What the? Okay. I didn't turn my mic on, so there you go. Anyway, I finished Tentacle Entanglement. Hello, sorry about the angle also, if it's bad. I just made myself some gorgeous ramen. This is my favorite ramen. It's from Costco. I'm very Costco pilled these days. It's tonkatsu ramen. So anyway, I finished Tentacle Entanglement. The last 45 minutes of this book, every chapter I thought was the last, and then there was a whole other chapter of smut. And again, can't complain too much because I chose to read this book knowing it was about a tentacle monster. So but it was, listen, it had more depth in the beginning than I thought. Like there was more setup than I thought there was going to be, but as the book went on, I really quickly realized that like this was just smut. Like this character only exists to be smut, and I don't know, it just like it didn't hit for me because like I said, I like smut books. I think it's fun, but this one just went on a little too long for me. Like if you're gonna make a smut novella about a tentacle monster, it shouldn't be 190 pages because we got to a point where I was like, "Oh, it's over. Okay, that was fine. Like it wasn't bad, whatever." And then he was like, "I want you to have my triplets." I'm just not rocking with that. I'm not rocking with drink my special ink so that I can give you triplets because I want triplets. Those are triplets. Oh, did not love that. I don't like that at all because, of course, the special ink was an aphrodisiac and she was like going crazy. And it's like, again, I signed up for this. I signed up to make a video about monster romance. This is part of the job. But this was a lot. And again, it wasn't like shitty writing. Like the prose was fine. There was no depth and there was not really like a lot of like growth or exploration into their love story. It was more just like, but at the same time, it didn't try to be like a love story. At least I didn't feel like it. It was just kind of like, I love this man's tentacles. I'm going to let him get me pregnant. And it was like, you know what? It's your life. I don't know. I don't know what to say about this book. Like, it was so stupid, but it was making me laugh so hard because it was just like, I love reading smut books like this that, like, I can't take seriously because it's so ridiculous. But the book itself is taking itself so seriously. But at the same time, it got old really fast. Like, I was like, okay, there's only so many times that you can have sex with a tentacle monster and I'm not gonna roll my eyes. You know what I mean? Like once was enough for me. One long 20-page scene was enough for me. Because this is not really my thing. Especially when she found out that he wasn't even like he didn't even really have a human form. He's a shape-shifting octopus. Like he's not even like I'm really questioning what I'm doing right now. End of the day, would I recommend it? If you love monster romance, I guess. I don't know. Like it was I think you could survive not reading it. I think you really could. I think there are better monster romances, and I hope we will find one because next we're going to read The Gargoyles Captive. What am I doing with my life? What am I doing with my life? Okay. They're so addictive though, bro. Like it's just so funny. So this book, oh, we should read the synopsis, shouldn't we? Despite the fact that that book was the stupidest, most ridiculous thing I've ever read in my entire life, and honestly got a bit boring, I did have a fun time. And that's why I read these books because I just needed to turn my brain off today. I've been really anxious these days. I've been really struggling with my anxiety. And this, for some reason, it's escapism, girl. Like it just helps. So, anyway, this is 192 pages. The Gargoyles Captive, a deal with a demon. Does that say Katee? Or it's Kate with two E's. Is it KT? I don't know. Katee Robert. Grace is a monster hunter who went into her demon deal with eyes wide open. Years ago, her mother made the same choice and was never seen again. And the answers Grace seeks can only be found in the demon realm. Oh, we're going to the demon realm. Love, 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 love. She doesn't care that she's auctioned off to a gargoyle. She doesn't plan to stay with him longer than strictly necessary. Likely story. Unfortunately, she didn't read the small print of her contract. Likely story. Every time she tries to escape, his name is Brom. Brom catches her and brings her back to his bed, where things get heated very quickly in unexpected ways. Grace doesn't mean to give in, to stop fighting, but the moment she does, she starts to forget what brought her to this place and what her goals are. After a life starved of pleasure, all willing She's all willing to let Brahm seduce her again and again, at least until the past comes calling. Is this a series? Wait a minute. Oh, this isn't a series. So this is not the first book. Whatever. I want to read this one because we're going to the demon realm. Here we go. I'm going to eat my ramen. It's probably cold now, to be honest. I'm going to eat my ramen and we're going to start The Gargoyles Captive. But I've been reading The Gargoyles Captive. Like I said, I am 22% of the way through it. I'm really enjoying it. Like a lot more than the last book, a lot more than I thought I was going to overall. It's really like more of a romantasy than like a smutty smut book, at least so far. I mean, I'm only 41 pages in, so I don't really know for sure like how things are going to go, but so far we have two really really interesting characters that have an interesting dynamic, that have they have heart to them, like they have actual background and stories that they're really like, the characterization so far is really really good. I feel like I know these characters relatively well already, and it's not just because they're tropey. It's because the author has done a good job at like setting them up and showing us who they are. So we follow Grace and Brahm. Grace is a monster hunter, and she made a deal with a demon to be sold at an auction to some sort of creature that lives in the demon realm. There were krakens, there's gargoyles, there's all kinds of creatures. So this gargoyle guy, meanwhile, Brahm the gargoyle, weird, okay. He betted on Grace because his family was entirely slaughtered when he was a kid, I think. I think he was young. And so everybody believes that his family, and he's like the ruler of a certain realm in the demon world. So everybody believes that his family is cursed. So nobody wants to work for him, nobody wants to get married to him, blah blah blah. And they believe that if he gets married and has a child, the whole family will be cursed and they'll all be murdered again, and that will kind of be the curse. I don't really know the details of the curse. I don't know. So his plan is to buy a human woman, I guess. I don't really know. And seduce her just long enough so that she'll have his kid, so that he can prove that the curse isn't real. He doesn't care if she hates him or she leaves him afterwards. He doesn't need like a wife for life. He just needs a kid. But he meets Grace and he's like, okay, but like she's kind of interesting. Like she's kind of suspicious, she's kind of interesting. He doesn't know she's a monster hunter, so there's that kind of added element. She's sneaking around in this realm trying to figure out what happened to her mother, who also took a bargain with a demon. So yeah, sounds kind of crazy, but I'm really enjoying it so far. I like both these characters a lot. This world is very interesting. Grace and Brahm can both read people's emotions based on like color. Like they can see colors of like people's aura. So that's really interesting. It's reminding me kind of the Book of Azrael. Like Grace specifically really reminds me of Diana, but I don't know. That's just the vibes that I'm getting so far. I just wanted to update. I'm probably not going to update until I'm like a lot further into the book, because I'm really eepy and I just want to dive into this book. Like I'm really enjoying it so far, so I kind of just want to like binge it. So yeah, I just wanted to get those initial thoughts out there. Sorry if this camera angle is bad. Sorry if I'm bad at this. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Okay. Okay. Let's go team. Ringo Mike here. Hi gang, welcome in. You might be wondering why we have completely changed backgrounds. I finished the book, which I already forget what it was called, The Gargoyles Captive. I finished that, and then I was like, I can't just read two books in this video. Like we have to do more. We have to do the most here on EveHan. YouTube.com/EveHan. We have to do the most. So I'm gonna read one more book, but first, so the reason why, okay, I have ADHD. Hi. The reason why we moved locations, oh my god, the reason why we moved locations is because I wanted to stay awake and I thought this would be a more comfortable spot. We're in the living room with the cats and everything, so I thought this would be a more comfortable and less sleep prone place to read for the rest of the night, because it's already midnight. Okay. But let's talk about the book. I didn't update much at all because I was actually so in love with this book that I just wanted to sit and read it start to finish. And I did. And I loved it so much. This was, again, like I said, this was more of a romantasy than like a smutty, quick monster romance. It was a short book, but it was definitely a romantasy. Like the smut to plot ratio, there was not way more, but there was more plot. and the spice wasn't like with a smut book that's more than 100 pages, you get to a point where you're like, okay, I've seen enough. I'm ready for this to be over. But this book, again, plot outweighed spice. I never really felt like there was like too much spice that I was like, ugh, this is getting so annoying. Like this is just I'm tired. You know, I loved the characters. Both characters were so interesting, and like they had depth, and they had such an interesting dynamic because a major part of the plot is that the two characters are really similar, and they're like getting interested in each other, they're falling in love with each other, but they kind of reflect each other's traumas and each other's insecurities onto each other, because they're so similar. And so I found that to be a really interesting and sad dynamic, and I just really liked the way that it fleshed out and everything. I loved the world. I found it really just compelling. Like it was just a really good read. It was a quick read. I never felt bored really at all. You know, the spice spiced, the romance romanced, the plot plotted. It was a really good time. Like I genuinely really enjoyed this, and I think the characters are the main selling point to me. They were so appealing, and they were so real, and they were so distinct in a genre where I find most characters, especially in a heterosexual relationship, like the man is always the same and the woman is always the same. I felt the complete opposite about these two characters. I felt that they were so interesting. The male main character, like he showed a lot of weakness, but not in a way that made him pathetic, just in a way that made him human, in a way that a lot of like male main characters, especially in romantasy, don't typically show. Like they're always just like so strong and tough, and they're like almost an asshole, like so mean and heartless, but they're like morally gray. And like, listen, nothing wrong with that. I love my Zayden Ryersons at the end of the day, but sometimes you get a little tired of that and you want a Brahm. Brahm was awesome. Love him. Definitely will be going back because I think this is like the third or fourth book in this like standalone, interconnected standalone series. So I'm probably going to go back and read the rest of them. I really liked that. I really recommend it. Not just if you like monster romance. There wasn't really anything like particularly monstrous about him. He was a gargoyle, but he wasn't like, it wasn't tentacle porn. At the end of the day, hey, it wasn't tentacle porn. It was just normal porn. So I highly recommend if you're looking for a quick, fun romantasy. If you want a romantasy novella, it was very quick, very fun. Lots of queer rep in the series overall. This one was a heterosexual couple, but there were some non-binary characters. There was some flavor going on. Okay. But the next book we're going to read has the most disastrously ugly cover of all time. I'm so sorry. And that is Edin. I don't know how well you can see that because the flash is on, but this is the second book in the Monstrous series, which is a series of, I think they're all The first book is Soul Eater. I talked about it in my July wrap up. I mentioned liking it, but not like being obsessed. But I did say I really liked Edin, who was a side character. This book follows Edin and his lover. I don't know, but this is a monster romance, an monster romance. It takes place basically, just to give you a little rundown from what I know from Soul Eater, it takes place in a world like a post-apocalyptic United States where the world is basically destroyed by these monsters that live in a different dimension. There's all kinds of different monsters that have all these different powers and crazy things. So I don't really remember like what happened, but these monsters came to Earth and started devouring humans and destroying the world. And so the US government is kind of trying to contain them, study them, all that good stuff that the US government does. Sorry, don't kill me. Oh my god. And basically each pairing is a human male and a monster. I think they're all a human and a monster, but yeah, so this one follows Edin, who is this big purple monster. Shout out purple guy. And I don't know if all of them are with soldiers, because the first book, Soul Eater, Danny was a soldier, and this one I do believe the human guy is also a soldier. So I don't know if they're all soldiers. I don't know. We're going to start it. It's 410 pages. So we're going to be up late. It's going to be a long night, okay? But I'm excited. Let's get into it, okay? Hello, people of this world. Hi, how are you? I fell asleep, which is not something I do often. So it is really a miracle that I actually said I was gonna stay up all night and didn't. That's a first for me. Before I fell asleep, I did read a little bit of Edin. It's the next day. Did I say that? It's the next day, and I had to wait all day to film this. It's now the next night. Actually, I shouldn't say it's the next day. It's the next night. I had to wait all day to film this because I had a migraine. I did read a little bit of Edin before I fell asleep, enough to make me really like war with myself over whether or not I should stay up, even though I was barely keeping my eyes open. To chapter 10, I'm 22% of the way through it. I'm really enjoying it. Like, so far, almost no notes. I really like it. I really liked. With Soul Eater, I really liked the world, but I found Danny to be slightly infuriating. So, like, I liked the book and I had a really fun time, but as I said in my monthly wrap up, the main thing that I think like took away from my enjoyment of the book is because I read like a chapter a day. Like I did, and it's like a 320-page book. So because I was in a reading slump, I was reading like 20 pages, and then a week later I would read 50 pages, and then a week later I would read like it was bad. So the fact that I'm reading this a lot faster, I'm having a lot more fun. It's a good setup. I really like it. Basically, there's this soldier named Hunter and his best friend Charlie, and they're both soldiers, and they're kind of wandering the wastes, which is like, I think it's mainly the Midwest and like a bit of the South of the US that is completely abandoned, left to the monsters. Like I said, there's monsters that took over. And so he is walking with his friend Charlie. Charlie gets taken by these crazy creatures, and Hunter falls in a sinkhole. And this is all within like the first 30 pages, so I'm not spoiling anything. Edin, the monster creature thing, saves him and is like, I'm gonna help you find your friend. And Hunter's like, what the fuck is your deal? Because he's just like pissed off all the time. That's his deal, I guess. But anyway, yeah, so the two have joined together. I'm really enjoying it so far. I have 4 hours and 20 minutes left, so I'm gonna finish it tonight. I don't have the energy to set up the camera right now. But I have like 49 minutes left of this book, and they were, doing the deed. And his best friend is in the next room. And the whole time I was like, why are you doing that? He's going to hear you. Guess what happened? Best friend walked into the room. Best friend, now we're all traumatized. Why did we do that? Okay, hey everyone, what's going on? Hi, welcome in. It has been a few days. I've been editing it, and I realized that I don't have like a little conclusion wrap up chit chat that I usually do. So I got Ringo here, and we're gonna give you a little rundown on the 3 books that we read in this video, even though I kind of talked your ear off already about all 3 of them, I feel like. So I'm gonna be really brief. I just wanted to like give some concluding thoughts. And I also just want to say that since filming this video, I've gone on a bender and I have since read like 3 more monster romances, but I'm going to save those for sorry, I forgot what I was going to say. I'm going to save those for my August wrap up. So if you want to see even more thoughts, if you want to see me beat this dead horse and talk about monster romance again, why was I like cosplay lipping again? Then stay tuned for the August wrap up. It'll be posted the beginning of September. Okay. So anyway, the first book that we read was Tentacle, Entanglement. Did I have a good time reading this book? Maybe. Like, I didn't, it's not that I had a good time reading it, it's that I wasn't like totally bored and I wasn't totally interested. I was just completely indifferent. It was like reading a academic journal. It felt clinical. And that is kind of weird because it was tentacle porn. Maybe I should have felt something, maybe I should have at least felt uncomfortable. I didn't feel uncomfortable. I didn't feel anything. I just was reading it and I was like, okay, there's a man at the end of her bed. Oh, he's a tentacle monster. Oh, they're soulmates. Oh, like, I don't know. Oh, she's pregnant with his triplets. Anyway, then I read The Gargoyles Captive. I found out that The Gargoyles Captive is the 3rd book in a 6-book interconnected standalone series. And so I have since read the first 2 that go before it and really enjoying the series so far, but The Gargoyles Captive is definitely my favorite. I loved this book. It was just a perfect quick, short romantasy read. It reminded me a lot of Scarlett St. Clair's fairy tale retelling novella series. It was that kind of vibe. Like, it had the same amount of spice, the same amount of plot, and it was cool. And if you like demons, if you like the demon realm, if you like monsters and creatures, it was a good time. I would really recommend it. Moving on, 3rd book, Edin. This book, honestly, I had a really good time reading it. It was funny, it was sweet, it was romantic. Edin turned me off. Like, I was like, "Oh, I love this story. I'm having such a good time." And then, like, when they started, like, flirting and having banter and stuff, I was like, "Ew. I don't like this guy anymore. I don't like him." And I don't know if that says something about me psychologically or maybe Edin is just a freak and a weirdo. I don't know, but I will leave that for you to decide. And that's it. We read 3 books. Wow, good job us. This video is a mess. Sorry about that. I might be a little sporadic with my posting the next week or so because I'm going to see My Chemical Romance in Toronto. I'm going to try to schedule a post, but if that doesn't come to fruition, I'm sorry. I will have an apology video with tears, okay? I'm in my active era though, so please subscribe, please hang out, please comment below which beetle you would like to hold the microphone next time, any video suggestions, anything. Just chat in the comments below. Thank you so much. Thanks for being a friend, and I'll see you next time, okay? I hope you enjoyed whatever this was. Bye bye.